When teenagers think of things that are addicting, they first think of video games, sports, eating even, and even the negative ones that have negative impact on the human body. But our addiction is something a lot greater.
Somebody, baby mama, inside of the bed while I'm trying to tell. Who's that creeping through my...
My name is Remy Krupensky, and today we're going to be talking about the history of Hot Wheels. Now, the history of Hot Wheels starts off in 1968, where Mattel made its first ever Hot Wheels in 1968 on May 16th, and it was called the Sweet 16, which involved 16 Hot Wheels and the original orange racetrack, which would later be modified over the years. Now, the original designer of Hot Wheels was Harry Bradley, and Harry Bradley left Hot Wheels because he didn't think it was going to be successful, and then went to the car industry to design real life cars, and he would regret that over the time. And when Hot Wheels wanted him back, he recommended one of his fellow friends, Erwin Gilfenberg. So Hot Wheels were originally created to be more hot rod like, and then its competitors, Matchbox, who created their cars based off the assembly line and production line. They were pretty basic and bland. Hot Wheels also used plastic tires, which created less friction and were very smooth around the track. And when Hot Wheels came into the market, they basically rocked the small die-cast industry. All of the competitors of Hot Wheels were scrambling to figure out how to compete with Hot Wheels, and they also used some of Hot Wheels ideas too. So now the 1970s were a very big period for Hot Wheels. In 1970, they introduced the Sizzler series, which is very cool. The Sizzler series were basically Hot Wheels with little batteries in them that could go around the track for 5 minutes, and then they had to be recharged. And then also in 1970, they released Mongoose and Snake series, which were basically two professional drag racers who are both rivals, and these cars are very famous in the Hot Wheels industry till this day. So now 1970 also included the Silver series, which included the King Cuda, the Boss Hoss, and the Heavy Chevy, and you could only get these through a mail-in offer through the Hot Wheels Club. So in 1972 and 1973, Hot Wheels production kind of slowed. They didn't release a lot of new cars, didn't release a certain few cars, not a lot. But it all changed in 1974 when they came out with the Flying Colors theme. And in this theme, they had new kind of decals that are kind of more flashy decals, and also a Tapu print design, which is pretty cool. In 1976, Hot Wheels released the Sizzlers 2 series, and they released a new Knight Rider series. Now, Knight Rider series was pretty cool because in this series, you could basically turn it on and off the headlight. So one sad thing that happened to Hot Wheels in the 1970s was the phasing out of the Redline tires. So the 80s were also a very successful time for Hot Wheels too. In 1981, Hot Wheels released the Hot One series. 1984, they released the Ultra One series. Now, two inventions that were very significant to Hot Wheels history are the thermal changing Hot Wheels, which is basically if you applied any heat to the Hot Wheel, they would change color, and also the crank up. So what happened is the crank ups, you could change the shape of the car. So basically, you could have a bumper that could be wrecked, you could flip it over and it'd be wrecked, and you could have a top that would be scratched or like damaged. It was pretty cool and very significant to the Hot Wheels timeline of history. In the 1980s, Hot Wheels based their cars off of sports in the 80s and also cars in the 80s. For example, like muscle cars in the genre, like the Pontiac Firebirds, many of the Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, all that. And also they based it off sports cars, for example, like the Porsches, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and many more. So in the late 1980s, Hot Wheels also introduced the Blue Scheme Pack, which is still used to this day. In 1995, Hot Wheels added the Treasure Hunt series, and a lot of people believe this to be the first collector series, and it kind of paved the way for Hot Wheels collectors, since a lot of these kids growing up in the 70s and 60s that were introduced to Hot Wheels still started collecting them as adults. So Hot Wheels, to further the collectors, they gave them the Hot Wheels Classic line, and there's also many series out today for collectors till this day. So Logan, why did you choose to collect Hot Wheels?
Well, I started collecting Hot Wheels about a month ago or so,
and I just started to look for a lot of the trucks. I really like the design on most of them. Here's a Dodge Power Wagon right now. This is also one of my favorites. And also I like the Ram 1500 Rebel. There's the F-150, there's Chevy Silverados, and there's many other different kinds of trucks. But that's really why I got into Hot Wheels.
So Andrew, what made you passionate about Hot Wheels, and why did you decide to collect them?
So I started collecting them first when I was a little kid. My parents used to bring them home when they got home with work. And then a couple buddies of mine started to get back into collecting them. So I decided to get back in the game.
And what
started
are
collecting
some
them.
of your favorite types of Hot Wheels?
We got the Bentley Continental here. I like it a lot. We also have this Power Wagon here from 1970. It's a good year. Yeah, but we'll show off a lot more of my favorites later. What brought you into Hot Wheels?
So my passion for Hot Wheels began when I was a little kid. I remember going to the auto shows in the convention center in Colorado, seeing all the cool cars from Mercedes, McLarens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. I've always been fascinated with every single type of car, muscle cars, SUVs, trucks, sports cars. I remember my dad's second grade, he actually rented out a Ferrari 430 California, and I also got to sit in a Lamborghini Aventador. And I was so happy when I first got to sit in one and just feel what it was to be inside of one. And that just led me onto Hot Wheels, because I think Hot Wheels are good for anyone who loves cars, and especially in the car community, you see a lot of people collecting Hot Wheels, and you can just talk about the history of them. Like, certain Hot Wheels have a lot of history, because some are made with certain materials, others are not, and there's also a very rare Hot Wheels. For example, my top Hot Wheel to find would be the Supra. It's the I think it's the 2020 or the 2021 MKV2 Supra. It's very hard to find in the Hot Wheel community, and it can sell for a lot. And that's just overall why I'm in love with Hot
Purple just to start it. Not too close for purple just to